Hi, welcome to Tiny Teacup Reads. Thank you for being here. I have a book haul today, and before you ask, no, I have not read all of the other books that I own, but I still decided I wanted to treat myself. So I got 8 books, all of them on Kindle. The first book is A Days at the Murasaki Bookshop by Yakisawa Satoshi. This is a contemporary novel in which a young woman gets dumped and decides to move into the bookshop that her uncle owns. I've already read this book and reviewed it in my May wrap-up, and I thought it was a little bit of a letdown, but I still really enjoyed the process of reading it. Another book that I've already read is The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. I've already done a full review of this one on my channel, and I really love this one. Another contemporary book about a woman dealing with loss is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. In this one, a widow begins a job at an aquarium where she develops a special connection with an octopus. This one sounds interesting and I've heard good things, so I'm excited to read it. Then I stumbled across a series that I really loved when I was younger. This is the Inkheart series by Cornelia Funke. This is a middle grade fantasy in which elements from a book come to life. I haven't read this in ages, since I was like 12, 13, which is a very, very long time ago now, and I can't really remember much of it, but I do remember that I really loved it. There's apparently a movie of the first book too, but I hear it sucks, so don't watch that, just read the book. Of course, I can't do a book haul with including at least one historical fiction, so I got The Mercies by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. This is set on an island in Norway in the 1600s, and all the men of the island are killed in a storm while on a fishing trip, leaving the women and the children to try to keep their community going. Things come to a head when a man from Scotland arrives who apparently has a history with witch trials. This was apparently inspired by real events of the time, so I'm already interested. Also, I went on holiday to Norway recently and I absolutely loved it, so I was excited to get something that is set in that place. Outside of the books that I've already read on this list, I think this is the book that I am most excited for. Then I have a contemporary romance. This is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. In this, the main character is in love with her best friend, who is a famous quarterback, which I think is American football, right? And then, due to some shenanigans, they have to pretend to be a couple. I've never read a sports romance before, I think. It's not my thing. I really couldn't care less about sports, but this did sound cute, so I thought, you know what, why not give it a try? Another Japanese book that I got is The Full Moon Coffee by Mai Mochizuki. Apparently there is a Japanese myth that if you are kind to cats, that they will repay the favor. And in this one, there is a coffee shop that is run by cats. I've never heard of this one before, but it was advertised as a cozy fantasy, which I've been trying to get more into. I think it might be easier than those high fantasy books that really scare me off because of all the massive world building. So I want to try this one, and also this has talking cats, so what's not to love? The last book on my list is Once a Monster by Robert Dinsdale. This is a Greek myth retelling about the Minotaur set in London in the 1800s. That sounds like a really interesting premise. I've read a lot of Greek myth retellings that are set in their own time, and I've also read some like Percy Jackson series that is set in modern times, but I don't think I've ever read one that is set in a historical period. So I'm really interested to see which direction this book takes, and also I always love a good myth retelling. So those are the books that I got, just 8 of them for now, but of course I will be telling you what I think of these as soon as I read them, so stay tuned for that. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope that I will see you in the next video. Bye!